Hi there, this is Rick with Moonlight Acres, and we're looking at about 5 guns that kind of have something in common. Actually, maybe more than one thing in common, I guess. But I was just trying to bring them out and see. Every once in a while, people like to let them breathe a little air, so I guess they're getting to breathe a little air today. So if we would, let's take a look at them maybe one at a time, and let's see if we can find what's the same on each one of them. All right, the first gun we have here is it's a Winchester Model 1894. This particular Winchester was made in 1897, so 3 years after they first started making them. It's kind of a pretty neat little rifle. It's got flip up rear sights here, and it's got a flip up rear sight here for a tang sight, and then it's also got a globe front sight, and you can lay that down and you can use it without the globe. It's still got a sight there. So it's kind of a neat little gun. I would say it's special order. One of the things about this gun is also this part of it. We'll take a look at it here in a moment, and let you know what that is. Let's take a closer look. Alright, so let's start at this end. This is normal 94. Looks good. You got the pop-up tang sight, and that looks to be pretty close to original to the gun. There's a shim underneath it, and it had quite a few years of dirt underneath it, so it's actually not been removed for quite a while before I took it out and cleaned it. This particular Winchester is a 30 WCF, which is 30-30. And here's the rear sight here. You can use it like this for a little further distance, or for the shorter distance here. And here's the globe front sight, which is kind of neat, and this part of it can be laid down, and it's got a little sight there on top that you can use without the globe, so you can use it with or without that globe sight up. You can also take this down, so this is a takedown version of the 94 in 18 and 97, so it is kind of neat. So we turned it over and looked at this side, and it's probably a little better, and it's a little brighter on this side anyway. So here's what that 94 looks like. And by the way, here's our tang sight, complete. It is a 94. I think the barrel has been shot a bit, but it is shootable, and it actually works pretty good. Here's the sights from this side, and you do have little white in the center there with the arrow. Of course, you go further down, and we're on that globe, and that is rather neat. So there's your takedown screw there, and that is the Winchester Model 94, made in 1897. So complete with special order sights, and it's a pretty handy little gun back then. All right, let's see if we can maybe go to the next one. Alrighty, what we've got on the table here is Winchester Model 1892, and this one is in 32 WCF, or 3220, and this is actually a deluxe 92 with a takedown, and so let's take a little closer look at this one. Alrighty, this Winchester is, of course, I said it was a Model 92. It is in a Takedown Deluxe with the checkering here, and no, it doesn't have. Yes, it does. It does have checkering down here. It's yeah, it is a Model 92 and in 32, and if we look at it in sights, that's kind of normal for the sights on that. This is here, the barrel is here, the sight is normal here on the top, and as we can see, what we've got here is another takedown screw. So it looks like this one is a takedown as well. It's kind of a cutie, and this one actually came with a box, a wooden box somebody had made. I don't believe it's Winchester. I believe someone had it specifically made for this gun, because this gun is the only one that fits, and it has to be taken down to be put in that case. Anyway, we've got this side. We've already looked at this, and let's take a look at the other side. Alright, so here's the back again, but here's this side. Of course, we do have the checkering. Looks like it's not very deep. It's kind of wore down in here, and the actual metal looks pretty good. There's your 32 WCF, and look at that. It's a Winchester, all right. And there's our checkering there at the bottom. So, kind of a pretty gun in itself with the takedown feature. And so there's two Winchesters and two takedowns so far. Let's take a look at the next one in line. Alrighty, this particular rifle is a Winchester Model 1894, and this one's in caliber 32 Winchester Special. This one came out in, I believe it was 1920, and it's kind of a neat gun as well. So it's not very often I get to see 32 Winchester Special, as well as I usually don't see them made in 1920. So it's kind of a neat gun. Let's see if we can take a look at it. Alrighty, here's our Winchester 94. This particular one is kind of got, it's kind of pretty on the wood. It's got a little bit of remnants of case coloring there on the receiver, and that's a little bit unusual, at least when I get to see them. Here's the label on the side, New Haven, yep. Our sights look like that. Come down the barrel. Barrel looks pretty good. Oh, sight is still got the nice sight on there. The original. And, oh my goodness. This is the third one, and it looks like it's got a takedown screw as well. So that's kind of nifty. It was pretty good thing, pretty neat thing when the horseless carriage came out and the trains and such. You could actually take a Winchester and put it in a takedown, fold it up, and take it with you when you go. So it was a pretty nifty feature, and let's see if we can take a look at the other side. Alrighty, so here's the other side of our Winchester 94 and 32 Winchester Special. It still has some of the case coloring on this side too, which I really love. And there's our 32 Winchester Special. nickel steel, Model 94 barrel. The forearm and the stock are just about, they should be normal. It's not anything different, but for 1920 it was a goodie. There's our takedown. Alright, so let's take a look at the next one. Alrighty, so what we've got here is a Winchester Model 53. And this came after the, well, maybe even still during the 92s. But this is a 53. It was made in 1929. And it's kind of a neat one. You'll notice it's lost some bluing from the receiver, and I don't believe they case colored these at all, but I may be wrong. And let's see if we can take a closer look at this one. Alrighty. So this Winchester is the Model 53. I think I forgot to say it was in caliber is in 25-20, and it's kind of a neat one. It's an off caliber. This particular one has the round barrel, and it's kind of a cutie too. And of course, this one doesn't have a full-length magazine. It's got a it's got a half magazine, but it is a takedown, and it is a cutie. There's our front sight, and of course there's our back sight as well. So kind of neat for 19 and 29, and so let's see if we can turn it over and get a look at the other side. Now here's the other side of our Winchester Model 53 in 25-20 caliber, or 25 WCF. This one particularly says 25-20 WCF and Model 53, which is kind of a cutie. So here's our takedown on it as well. Of course, it is just it's a half magazine takedown, so it's kind of different. I think they were doing that at the time, like I said, 1929. Pretty darn neat. Alright, so let's see if we can take a look at the next. Alrighty, so what we got here is a Model 1886, and this one is this is in 33 WCF, so it's a 33 WCF. You can't get them anymore. You have to reload your own. But this particular one, it's a takedown lightweight, and it was made in 1920. So it's kind of a neat one itself. It's got the half magazine, and it is much lighter than any 86 that was previously before it. So, and there was probably quite a few of these made around this time, it would be my guess, because I've seen some of them, and I'm kind of particularly fond of these as well as the rest. I can't make up my mind, except for this will reach out and touch you pretty good with the 33, and it'll bring down some big critters as well. Let's go behind the camera and let's see if we can get a little closer and see how this looks close up. So here's this side of our 86. This is our takedown lightweight. It's still got some bluing left on the receiver. It's no case coloring. I don't believe they were doing it at that time, but it's a stout Winchester, and it's light, so it really would be fun. It's got a round barrel on it, and got most of the bluing left on the barrel. We've got our takedown, half magazine takedown, And I believe the barrel is actually tapered as well, so that gave it a little bit less weight as well. So that's what makes it lighter, as well as the our takedown being half. All right, we got a pretty white front sight there, and then it's just actually pretty fantastic, actually. All right, so let's see if we can turn it over and take a look at the other side. Alrighty, so here's the other side of our Winchester Model 86, and I said it's no case coloring, but it is kind of cool in that 33 WCF caliber. It was a pretty hot caliber in its day. And that 86, oh, it loved it, I think. So here's our takedown, and yeah, so what are the things that were the same about all of these? I guess basically the things that are the same on all these are, yes, they're all Winchesters, and they're all takedowns. So, oh, what neat. If you're a Winchester lover, I love the takedowns. Alright, that's it from Rick here on Moonlight Acres.